Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Hoops and Football. Shannon, this will be the part 2 for the backline for my best 23 for 2026. Previously we had Nick Flostone, Noah Bolter and Ben Miller. So going into this episode, it's sort of been hard to pick going into the half forward, only because we've got, players up like Sam Grill, Tom Brown, Luke Trainer, you got Jaden Short. There's so many players that you sort of want to squeeze into this half forward line that have the ability to kick. A lot of them have really good kicking skills, overhead marking. Sort of, we want to get the new back, sort of start breeding in some young backline players, so that when the players like Nick Flostone and Broad retire, we're not sort of left in the dark like we are with our forward line. We were just well under the age and experience limit to what we should be having for the team. So I sort of have taken that into account. I think some of the players that are playing in there sort of earned their spot. But I think the bench will have to be sort of what helps the backline as well for the sort of dual swapping players. Now, teams that I pick are not what everybody wants, but this is just who I think is the best 23 when Richmond's all healthy. So this is all barring no injury for Richmond. It's just who I would like to see on the field every game as well. So at the start, I'll start off at the side on the half forward flank. We'll go with Sam Banks. Now, Sam Banks last year had a really good, I would say, a breakout season. It was his best season. I think his body started to hop a bit more. They took him from the wing to a half back and started to using his dashing skills. You did see it a lot during the season. If you actually watch some of the games, he would get the hand pass off a player who marked it. And with the stand rule, it makes it a lot harder for the man on the mark to sort of slow them down. And Banks noticed that, so took advantage of that by getting the quick handballs and getting, an extra 10-15 metres on it, and then giving a good kick. Did quite well. Really impressed with him actually as a half backer. And I think every game he was averaging over 400 metres gained per game, which was elite, and it was really good. Getting pushing, he had a few games where he was averaging 28 disposals, so I was really happy with his form. So to me, I think Banksy's pretty much that spot for him is secure for 2026. Someone has to take it off him, or he gets injured. So cross fingers, we don't see Banksy go down, because I think his running off the half back is sort of replaced what Daniel Riola used to do as well. So it was good to see we found somebody to replace that spot for him. So, and then going on to the fullback. Now, some people might not like him as of what happened last year, but I've gone with Noah Bolter for this year. I think he's just too strong, powerful, great overhead mark, and he's got a thumping big kick on him, and it has a lot of speed as well. So I did have Ben Miller at the fullback. Obviously, I have Noah at the centre halfback. Now, that could change just depending on the position of the player they've got in. And who they're playing on. I know they all get given designated players to play on for the game, so it can definitely, the back six can just change around. But I think Noah Bolter will have a bigger year this year bigger year in 2026. Sorry, not 2025. But his 2025 was really interrupted, and that was his own fault. He'll learn from it. But a lot of the reports that have come out through the training is that he's come back fitter and working his ass off to obviously get the respect back from the players and get his spot back in the senior team and sort of get back to the best, what he was going back a few years ago, where you really could say he was up there with maybe one of the better defenders in the competition. And I think we need him to be for us to go anywhere. Moving on to the other back flank is Jaden Short. Now, some people might not like that opinion just because he's getting older. You sort of got Grill, so you need to bring Grill in. I could have had Brown, Gibkiss, Luke Trainer. There's a lot of players that could go in that position. But I thought having Jaden Short and Banks as those players with big kicks and dashing speed off the halfback for those handballs is really handy to have. as well as you get a bit of Jaden Short's leadership as well, as we know from a lot of the videos we've seen. Jaden Short has a loud voice and he's willing to use it, and it still allows him to teach some of the younger fellas as well. Now, as we know, not all 6 defenders will be on the ground at the exact same time at all times together, so they will change. But I think you still need some sort of leadership in the background, and I really would think that he's the third one behind Nick and Broad. He's great to have. He can float forward at times as well during the game to kick a long goal from 50, and I think that's him and Banks both do that really well. And it's sort of something I don't want to take out of our side, is where you can actually have your back flankers as a dangerous sort of option when you get the ball deep into your 50, because sometimes you see the players just sort of rush, kick it out, and it goes straight into one of their hands. And they both have the distance to kick it, so it sort of becomes a dual weapon for them as well. And that makes it a lot easier for us to score more goals, and obviously keep other clubs accountable for where their players are. Alright guys, if you could hit the like and subscribe button, slowly pushing our way to 400. I will be making a few more videos, but there will be a pause in between Christmas, just because I'm having my family up here, so I'm just going to take a time away, spend some time with my family, and we'll be back coming into the new year. Hopefully with some more news. If anything comes along the way that I deem to be really interesting, I will make a video during the break. But if I can, I'll try and make some pre-recording videos to go up, sort of keep everyone entertained during the Christmas break, because it does get a bit quiet for a while. So, alright guys, thank you. As always, stay safe and go Tigers.